buttons, we'll see.
Okay, we'll call to order the Planning Commission meeting for April 9th of 2024. And we will get started with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Holbert.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any conflicts that any of the commissioners need to declare tonight?
No.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move right into the rest of the meeting. The first item is the approval of the March 12th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Any discussion or motion?
I motion to approve the minutes from March 12th, 2024.
Motion approved. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. We'll go on to item number 3, which is to consider request for site plan and architectural approval for Spot Estates, a multifamily development located approximately 1950 west, 4550 south. And are you the applicants? You're the applicant. Okay. Would you go ahead and come on forward? Tell us your name, where you're from, or your address, and then tell us a little bit about your project here.
Fantastic. Am I close enough to the microphone here?
Yes.
Okay. Nathan Alvey, address 1627 West, 2290 South, Woods Cross, Utah. I'm the managing partner for this project. We initially submitted plans for this, according to some notes here, a little over 4 years ago. Pretty crazy to see how fast time flies. The project was sidelined. Multiple factors. I think we were really close to crossing the finish line. We've gone through a few iterations with my engineer and Roy City's engineer. But then COVID hit, and I was personally in an accident that sidelined me for a while. But glad to be back. But I think I know that Roy updated their master plan and vision for the city, and I've met with Steve Parkinson to see if this project still fits the highest and best use for this land, and he believes it does, is my understanding. We have just over 1.01 acres, R3 zoning, which allows for 12 units per acre. We are proposing this U-shaped parcel here. If you were to drive past 1900 West, you wouldn't see this land at all. This acre is located entirely to the west of 3 existing homes that are on site, accessible from the west off of 4550 South. We own and control the U-shape, which is outlined here in red, which is where these 12 units would be built in 4 buildings, 3 units per building. The goal is to maximize the 35-foot height as allowed with the code, so this would be a 3-story buildings. We have some elevations here showing the garage on the main level, 2-car garage per unit. Small little gathering area on the front side. And then the second story would have your kitchen, your living space, and then bedrooms up on the 3rd level. So here's kind of a breakdown here of the main level, 2nd level, 3rd level. These drawings are from another project, so don't take this with a grain of salt, understanding that this is concept. We need to have the site plan finalized so that I can give my architect some official dimensions to work with for the building. The lot that we have actually allows for these units to be stretched a little bit deeper. So we're trying to get an extra bedroom out of the upper level than what is illustrated here. But our product is trying to replace the 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot single-family home that we just don't build anymore. The new single-family home is a townhome, and that's what we're trying to duplicate and replicate here. So each unit has the 2-car garage, and then we have 6 guest parking sites out on the lot. And happy to answer any questions from there.
Awesome. Any of the commissioners have any questions?
Just parking, I'm just looking at it, there's no garage or.
So, so
I'm
the-
sorry, I'm just looking at this. I had a question about parking, I just didn't, there's no garage.
There's a 2-car garage in the front of every unit.
On the bottom line.
Okay.
So if you look at the elevations, 2 cars
I was
per
looking at-
unit.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then
Sorry.
if you look at the site
I
plan,
was looking at the wrong picture, sorry.
then if you look at the site plan, there are 6 guest parking spots. So we have 2.5 parking unit or spaces per unit.
Okay, I'm good.
Oh, good to bring it up. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. Steve, we'll turn it over to staff.
Okay, as mentioned, this is a site plan and architectural review approval for Spot Estates. They're at 1950 West, 4550 South. As mentioned, it's just kind of some raw land that's in the back of these parcels, these homes. Part of it is also a subdivision plat that comes with it, but that doesn't come to the planning commission anymore, but it's subdividing the front from the back to be able to provide the just over the acre of land there. Excuse me. The southern building in the front used to be a Allstate Insurance Company. Then there's 2 homes, and then you have the Orchards at 19th development, that townhome project that we did a couple years ago, or got approved a couple years ago. Parking demand-wise, it's 2.5 stalls per unit. 1 has to be covered. The half units are for visitors. These will have 2-car garages, so 2 will be covered, and then have 6 for visiting, which would meet the ordinance and the requirements. It would meet the requirements for open space. They have a tot lot that's just above, next to units 10, 11, and 12. All the departments have reviewed it and looked at it. Actually, I think it was, 2020? When the original came through, we reviewed it, approved it, subject to all the DRC comments, and like you said, COVID hit. He got in an accident and kind of stalled it for a bit, but the project still meets the ordinances and the codes, so we're just bringing it back. Kind of some colored renditions of what it could look like. 2-car garage as mentioned, so staff would recommend approval of both site plan and architectural review with the conditions as mentioned in the staff report.
Thanks, Steve. Any discussion or questions? If not, a couple of motions are in order.
I make a motion to approve the site plan for Spot Estates, a family development at 1950 West, 4550 South.
We have a motion to approve the site plan. A second?
With the conditions, I
With the
assume?
conditions.
With the conditions,
Yeah.
sorry, yes, with the conditions.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Done.
Then one other, yeah,
We need another,
for the architectural.
I make a motion to approve the architectural plan for Spot Estates, a multifamily development located approximately 1950 West, 4550 South,
With any conditions?
with the conditions.
Okay, so we have a motion for the architecture with conditions. A second?
I'll second that.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously as well. All right, just real quick, welcome Commissioner Bailey. I think this is the first meeting that we've had you participate up here with us, but he's an
Not gonna
alternate.
Make a comment that he's screwing up the dress code.
Noted.
Other than the white shirt, it looks pretty good, so. No, we do want to welcome you and appreciate you being an alternate, and glad you could join us up here today, so. We'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a request for a conditional use approval to allow up to 10 domestic livestock for grazing on 4.715 acres owned by Pacific Corp at approximately 3250 West, 4800 South. Are you Jason? Awesome. Would you please come forward and state your name and address and tell us about the livestock that you'd like to graze there below the power line?
Well, I'm Jason Loftus. Lived in Roy 47 years. My address is 3193 West, 4725 South. Yeah, and I'm looking, I've signed a lease with Pacific Corp for that 4.71 acreage, and I'm just wanting to run some livestock on there to keep the weeds down for fire hazard and just to keep them down and keep it manicured. Helps me out, helps them out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I think it's a great use for that land. I mean, I think there's, like you said, the mutual benefit there is awesome, so.
Yeah, and walking the property, I've talked to some of the neighbors. They've come up to the fence and talked to me, and they seem pretty excited to have some animals back there again that take care of their weeds for them. So,
Especially in the summer when it gets a little drier and stuff. It's,
yeah.
it's nice
Yeah.
having that down a little bit, so.
yep.
Awesome. Any questions from any of the commissioners? All right, thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Steve, staff, for any staff comments on that?
As mentioned, this is a conditional use approval for 4.7 acres of land underneath the power line corridor for livestock at about 3250 west, 4800 south. Just kind of an aerial of it. It's kind of a skinnier portion of that area. But back in 2016, the council approved a change in the ordinance because most of the properties about it, like the zoning map there on the left, it's all R18 zone that doesn't allow for any animals. But they made an exception and basically made it a conditional use that underneath that power line corridor, we could have animals, again, because it is really nothing else can be done with it. You can't build in it. You can't, have a cemetery, so to speak. Anyway, I know they were looking at some, but it made it for a good use for people to come and to have some animals that would like to take care of the land and raise them. So staff would recommend approval of the conditional use as with conditions stated in the staff report.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Any additional comments? My comment is just what I said to Jason. I think it's a great use, so any other comments or motions in order there?
I make a motion that we approve the request for conditional use to allow 10 domestic livestock for grazing on 4.715 acres on property owned by Pacific Corp, address at approximately 3250 West, 4800 South. With conditions. By staff.
Motion to approve with
I'll
conditions. A second. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously, so thank you. Appreciate that. Next will be the commissioner's minute. I don't really have anything to add to any of the other commissioners.
I came up 5,600 from 3,500 today, and they're beginning to put in a concrete wall next to the houses on the south side. So it's going to be
Chateau,
like a sound barrier kind of thing. And so they're getting closer.
What are they excavating over there? I mean, they've got some big, deep pits that they're excavating out along the west or south side.
They're putting in sewer and water.
Roy is taking it, the option, because they're tearing up the road to
Yep.
replace the water lines
Yep.
and stuff in there at the same time, so we don't have to pay for asphalt.
Twice.
Those are some pretty impressive trenches for
Yep.
water line.
But you've also got main lines, our water tower that's up off the hill. One comes down this way, so it'd be good. I can't wait.
They're just, it's,
They got to be below the frost line. Okay, so I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't say how far.
I can't see over.
But yeah, it's moving along.
It is.
Yep,
Got a few more building permits or demo permits to take homes down on the north side, which was a little surprising to us, over by 3100 West.
okay.
I think it's a turn lane, deceleration turn lane, so
Okay,
to be able to turn north on 31.
Notice Wendy's is still in full operation?
yeah.
They are talking with landowners around to be able to move, so I'm hoping to have a site plan soon.
I'd love to keep them. Okay, any other comments or? Okay, staff update, Steve.
Not really much. Brody, you need to fill this out, or Tammy's gonna have my hide. So for the upcoming work session, you guys had me bring some homework, so I'll get that stuff for the commercial mixed use off of 35. We will not have a meeting May 14th. Had to cancel that because I'll be at a conference or little powwow or whatever you want to call it for water conservation. The reason why I'm going to be gone for that is we actually applied for a grant with Wasatch Front Regional Council to help with our water conservation element in the general plan as mandated by the state. We did not get the grant. However, Wasatch Front said, well, we'll give you 3 of our planners to help with technical assistance, so they will help write it. But part of it is to go to this conference up there to kind of talk with, DWR, Weber Basin Water, all the people we're supposed to communicate with when we're writing our plans. So it's a 3-day conference up there. We just kind of, I guess you'd call it more of a, when council goes and secludes themselves for budget, what do you call that?
A retreat.
The retreat. It's more of a retreat style. The great thing is it costs the city almost nothing. They're paying for the hotel, they're paying for the food, they're paying for the conference. We just have to get ourselves up there. So I thought it was a pretty good deal, and we should walk out with enough information to start writing it to get our plan done before December 2025. So other than that, that's all we got.
Okay. Simple enough. All right, one final motion is in order.
Motion to adjourn?
Welcome to the party.
Second.
A motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Chris is not here, so no one's opposed.
Nope, we're all good
all
with that,
good.
so.
All righty.
That one you can do.
Good motion.
You did well.
Well done, Commissioner Tanner.